On the 6th floor of this Woburn, Massachusetts courthouse, a jury spent 12 days
Do you swear the testimony you're about to give the jury?
listening to the testimony of 59 witnesses.
He just said that something bad happened.
Did you look for evidence of any bloodstains in the car?
Yes, I did.
I remember him saying if we ended up together, it wouldn't be good for his health.
And examined 111 pieces of evidence. The prosecution and the defense had finally rested, each portraying Jim Brescia in a very different light.
He wants it done. He wants it done sooner rather than later. James Brescia is guilty of murder in the first degree and nothing less.
He was a devoted father.
The defense portrayed Jim Brescia as a concerned suburban dad who only wanted the victim warned to keep away from the children.
And it would be enough to send big tough guy Scott Foxworth to say to him, stay away from the kids, and the defendant should be found not guilty.
The jury deliberated for 5 hours, and when they returned with a verdict, they saw something unusual. The defendant, James Brescia, was not in the courtroom.
My client apparently suffered a stroke.
Brescia's lawyer, Jay Carney, says that his client was rushed to the hospital, the victim of a stroke that started when he was on the stand.
I'm sorry, Adrian, I got a headache.
Remember, he was complaining of a headache during the prosecutor's cross-examination.
I said, I have a headache. I just have a headache. Bad.
Suffering as he might have been, the defendant's hospitalization did not delay the reading of the jury's verdict.
James Brescia with murder. What say you, sir? Is the defendant guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, offense charge.
So say you, Mr. Foreman?
Yes.
So say all members of this panel?
Yes.
It was a verdict his attorney is now appealing.
A person who suffers a stroke while he is in the middle of testifying in his own trial is, in my opinion, unable to testify in an appropriate manner and would not be able to have a fair trial as a result.
What did you think when you learned that he claimed he had suffered a stroke during this trial, during perhaps even his testimony?
Just another last-ditch attempt to get away with murder.
You didn't believe it.
No way.
Why not?
That's Jim. Classic Jim Brescia. It's no stroke. It's him.
We have no reason to believe that Mr. Brescia didn't suffer some type of medical problem today, but we have absolutely no reason to believe that that will do anything to this very successful verdict.
We asked 2 jurors whether deliberations might have gone differently had they known that Jim Brescia may have suffered a stroke on the stand.
If he indeed had a stroke, would not have a bearing on my decision for the trial. It wouldn't have affected the outcome of the trial.
I don't think it would have made one bit of difference. I mean, what's it going to change? The phone records? You know, the money, the lies, it's not going to change anything. Ed Schiller wouldn't be dead unless it was for Jim Brescia. There was no one in that room that said, I don't think he did it.
3 days later, Jim Brescia, out of the hospital and back in the courtroom, was waiting to hear his sentence.
Confinement for life at state prison.
Life in prison was the sentence for which Ed Schiller's brother had been hoping.
Proven guilt is all well and good, but it doesn't bring Ed back. And a lot of people say that I'm sorry for your loss. And you know, I don't feel like we lost Ed. I really feel like Ed was stolen from us.
We feel the pain of Ed's murder each and every day. The cowardly acts of James Brescia have forever changed our lives.
What he did is... there's no way to describe the snowball effect and how many people this has affected.
Who's been impacted?
The Schillers. He had loved his family so much. And all of his friends. My kids are devastated. They don't have a father anymore. People know that their dad's in prison for murder. It's just devastating, and I haven't really been handling things well. And I'm working on a broken heart.
For more on that story, go to abcnews.com. When 2020